like, subscribe, hit the freaking bell, freaking give us money on Patreon, give us money on OnlyFans, give us money on freaking.
I had a CD player, and all I played on it was Linkin Park and the Spider-Man 2 soundtrack.
Spider-Man 2. People would be like, "Oh yeah, want to duel, bro?" And they would just sit at the table or like on the freaking basketball court, and I'd be standing up with a duel disc, like I'm going to duel you, and put the deck in the freaking thing, like on freaking Seto Kaiba.
Yo,
I think anime number one. Everything else is dog water.
Dog water.
Wasted time. Yo, 25 years? Nah, fuck that. Give me another game. How about that?
Yeah.
So I'm a bit of a boomer.
I started my brother on a race. I'm currently sitting.
I am taking the tortoise approach.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck?
This hair. This silly hair.
Well, I am excited to see what your brother thinks of Erased.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm excited for, David?
He was like, that's a banger of a first episode, and I was like, damn right.
True.
You know what I'm excited for, David?
What are you excited for?
I'm excited for episode 43 of the Unboxing Life podcast.
Yes, dude.
That is what I'm excited for.
We are here.
We are here. Who are we here with?
I'll tell you who we're here with. We're talking this variety episode. I'm joined by Mudkip-chan.
Oh shit! And I'm wearing a Pikachu outfit with my drip. You know, we gonna talk about some Pokemon tonight, so that's fine.
I don't know. We might have to criticize the Pokemon company on that particular design.
Dang.
Man, you just hating on my drip. Ain't no sunshine when we fought.
What he wants to be.
Wow.
That is fact. All right. I'm also joined by the number one Blastoise Stan.
What's up, suckers? I'm using Hydro Cannon right now.
Hey, yo.
Get some water effect on him.
Get some water effects.
Yo,
you gotta do it. What's up, guys? I'm David.
I'm wet.
Hey, nice.
I'm last but not least joined by my man, Blaze again.
That was good, everybody. You know, if you're not on YouTube, you should be. If you're in your car or at work, I understand. If you're just listening on Spotify or whatever, but you know, you get the maximum content of especially my boy David popping off on YouTube. So whatever you want to do, whatever your best form of entertainment is, we respect you. But you know, if you want the premium of my boy Dave Vision, you know, you gotta be popping off on YouTube.
Speaking of which,
I'm excited. I don't know what we're getting into. I am
Speaking
way over my head
speaking of platforms, you head ass.
Okay, hello. Hi, hello. Go ahead.
We would much appreciate it if you were listening on Apple Podcasts to go ahead and give us a rating, or on any platform of your choice. That would greatly help us. It doesn't matter what kind of rating it is, just rate to your heart's desire. Just give us your honest feedback, and we would really appreciate that.
Yeah, you can.
Maybe we'll read them out maybe one day on our
if you leave a nice worded review or a
if it's
shitty
super,
review.
If it's super harsh and funny, I'll read it.
No, that might turn into a tradition for us too. So.
Be brutally honest, it'll help us out.
God.
That is facts.
Yeah.
All right.
So
we got a couple things that we wanted to discuss this week.
We definitely do. If you couldn't tell, I'm Mega Evolved Amokuno. If you couldn't tell, it's a Pokemon themed episode. Why is my man over here dressed as Pikachu, you may ask?
Because, man, we are getting Gen 4 remakes, my guy. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Explain.
What is it called? It's called Shining Pearl and what else?
What does a Gen 4
it's like
remake mean?
Brilliant Diamond.
Brilliant Diamond. Yeah.
And we're real fans, you can tell.
You can definitely tell. Even though this is actually the generation I stopped on. I didn't play these games. I stopped right before.
So you didn't play them. Okay.
Right, yeah. And they're like your favorite, right?
Yeah.
Both
I think
y'all?
nostalgia wise, Emerald I put up next to Platinum, but I couldn't choose between the two.
That's dope. Yeah. I was getting kind of nostalgic about the ones because I've only played like Gen 1, 2, and 3, I guess is what I played. So I'm a bit of a boomer.
Okay. So did you play like Heart Gold and Soul Silver?
Yeah, I went back and played Soul Silver, yeah, which was great. Yep.
So that came out in like 06. So that was like right before Platinum or Diamond and Pearl.
Oh yeah.
I was kind of I was kind of late introduced to Pokemon in my childhood, looking back, because I had a Game Boy, but I never like had a Game Boy game for it. Like in my early years, I never had a Pokemon game for it. I had Game Boy games,
Dang.
but my first introduction to Pokemon was the anime, and then one of my friends in like elementary school brought his. I think at the time the DS, the original DS, he brought it to school, and because it had the Game Boy player in it to play Game Boy games. He had Emerald, and I would watch him play, and I'm like, this is so dope. I gotta get myself a game. And I went to GameStop and I got Platinum, and that was my first real Pokemon game, Platinum. So
what a banger to start on to.
That's great.
Yeah,
Platinum is fucking fantastic.
I know. I didn't get a DS at the time, so I think that was that the first one that was on DS? Because I remember like feeling like
so the first one that came. So DS came out in 05. So the first ones that Heart Gold and Soul Silver would have been the first ones on DS.
Okay, because when I played Soul Silver when they made like the updated remake after that, when I had a DS years later, so that makes sense because I didn't even get to play those. I got a PSP.
I had a PSP as well.
There you go.
I played Yu-Gi-Oh on it, like nonstop. That's all I played on it.
Nice, yeah. So yeah,
dude, I could share so many fucking memories of this because like I grew up on Pokemon. Like that was my I spent so much time in the car, so like I just played video games all day, and it was on my little Game Boy SP.
Yeah,
and damn man, like Fire Red and Leaf Green, and playing through Emerald. I never got to play Ruby and Sapphire, but I remember walking through my neighborhood Walmart at the time and like passing by the game glasses and seeing Ruby and Sapphire like being sold. So like I'm old as shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like wow, you just awakened some vague memory in my head too. Yeah, because
like y'all gotta see my drip though. Like
okay.
The big drip. Zooming on YouTube.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, the collection.
Us games on games right there.
Collector, man.
I don't have a few, but
do we want to transition from that before we get too ahead of ourselves and do our traditions?
True.
Oh, true. We almost forgot, like we did last week.
We can. Yeah.
So we'll put a halt on the Pokemon talk real quick. Don't leave us yet.
All right. He who intros decides the order. What are we doing here?
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go right for the kill here. I'm going for that Blaziken fun fact.
Betterino, my man. All right. So we are not, variety hour. We're going for a variety fact. So this is not Pokemon related. Unfortunately for all y'all out there, we're changing gears to the most massive degree possible.
All right.
I have a language fact, a fact which lies within my major.
Okay.
Nicaraguan. Sorry.
Speaking of language,
Nicaraguan sign language is a sign language that was developed largely spontaneously by deaf children in a couple schools in Nicaragua in the 1980s. This took until the 1980s to occur because until then, there were no large concentrations of deaf people in Nicaragua. But when a vocational school for deaf adolescents opened and became home to over 400 deaf individuals, they developed their own sign language to communicate with one another, eventually even adapting things such as verb agreement and many of the other grammatical functions of spoken language.
Wow.
ISN, which is Idioma de Señas Nicaragua, is of particular interest to linguists who study it because it offers a unique opportunity to study what they believe to be the birth of a new language. Because it basically spawned itself. These people had no way of communicating with each other through spoken language. And so the students in and of themselves invented a sign language to communicate and learn from one another.
Oh wow! So it's not based on like written.
Nope. Not at all.
Wow.
Through no basis in written or spoken language, these 400 plus students of these two plus. It's a few, but it's mostly these two schools that were founded in Nicaragua in the very early 1980s. Developed within themselves. Like, the teachers didn't know about it. The teachers were like, okay, they're doing this whole thing within themselves. We don't know what's going on, like this, that, and the other thing. These students within themselves developed an entire language based on physical sign to communicate with one another. And it ended up.
It started with
it ended up throughout time developing the exact same complexities that spoken language does.
Dang. What if it started with like some big tension between a couple of kids? One of them is like, he's gonna fight, and then that's how it started. Like,
that'd be nutty.
One gave him the finger, and that was about it.
I want to say it might have started with something more like "pass me a pencil" or something like that. But
more peaceful.
for the TV drama written on the fact, it probably started like you said, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, that nonverbal communication. That's crazy.
Rocio would like that fact because she is proficient in ASL. So
wow, that's cool.
And Rocio will tell you that ASL is not at all equivalent to English. It's very different.
Wow, I would definitely think not.
Yeah.
I mean,
or any other language that is spoken with words.
I could see that, but that's, okay.
All right, I tell you what I can't see, but I sure would like to hear David's track of the week.
Okay. Maybe I think there's a music video for it. Maybe you can see it. My track of the week is, well, this is also just completely unrelated to both of what we've been talking about, of course.
Pinata Deluxe Edition.
But yeah, 83 tracks is my giant album. I'm gonna go with Brooks and Dunn, Neon Moon. So this is a country week for me. You'll see later in the week we're trying to get the boys into some country. We'll see how that goes. But
we will see.
We shall see. This was released in 1992. Yeah, we are all so curious. But this is I was gonna allude to a different country song I recommended, but that'll be in the future. But this is a sort of almost a pop country song, but it was kind of different back in the day, and I did it because it was different from everything we've been listening to. So it's not all super popular country was all bad. It's a very catchy, relatable. It's about just being in the neon moon is in reference to like fluorescent lights at like a dive bar, like a diner where you're just sitting alone.
So,
like, dang,
cool.
man,
I like that imagery.
It's a great fun song. Yeah, I've always been a fan.
It's like Macklemore with Neon Cathedral. He calls that a bar.
Hey man.
Okay.
If I can listen to it and picture me and Dave Vision alone at the dive bar, then I'm set.
Alrighty. All right.
David, have you heard of a guy named White Buffalo?
You're jumping too far into the future, my man. God dang.
What do you mean?
You found him? You're gonna put me on?
Yeah, no, there was a cool song. I forgot the name of the song. Maybe I'll know it in like a week
you should send it to me. Maybe
okay.
I'll recommend it in the future.
Yeah, maybe next week.
Yeah, okay.
Right. I'm too much of a time traveler. I'm sorry. My bad.
All right.
All right, Trev, let's hear it.
Okay, baby boy. So y'all Pokemon fans would definitely know this one. Real quick. It's a super quick quote. But anytime you try to use your bike in a place that you shouldn't be using your bike, homeboy would come knocking, and it would be Oak's words echoed. There's a time and place for everything, but not now.
Yeah, classic, man. I love
that shit is, dude. Because you would repeatedly do it. It's just like Oak's words echoed. Like every time you're just driving yourself insane.
Yeah, I know.
You just picture the NPCs like staring at you, like, and you're just driving yourself insane, like going schizophrenic.
You're just thinking of like so deeply about that time Oak told you, like it's a time and place.
You see him like pull a bike out of his pocket, put it back.
Out of his fucking pocket.
For real, dude.
So
Yeah.
shout out to
Damn.
Professor Oak.
Shout out.
Good God.
Big shout out.
Big
Good
shout
God
out.
Almighty.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Good God.
So my joke is for real Pokemon fans only. If you know, you know.
Oh,
Alright, I'll
dang.
take my headset off.
I originally wasn't gonna tell a Pokemon themed joke, but then I figured, why not?
Yeah, okay. I almost got that one before you said it. Nice.
I,
We're
I
gonna
mean,
move on.
with the Pokemon name that, I feel like you're just setting up for jokes.
That's fine.
I too predictably don't get it, and I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Yeah.
He was what, Gen 3?
Hmm.
Why not?
was it? I don't know.
Is that exactly as I expect it to be? Is that why not is the name of a Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Alright. Dope! I don't have to
It is
commit
Gen 3.
Harikari
It's
anymore.
the
Wow.
Or Harikari.
It's the Pokemon before Wobbuffet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, Buffett.
Wobbuffet. See,
So
you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
David, chill
companion
out.
of Team Rocket for a while though. So.
Yeah. So
I
guess-
know a lot, but not enough, honestly. If we're quizzing, but anyway, you guys are real Pokemon fans. There was a lot of real Pokemon news coming out very recently. Not even the last week, the last couple days, if not like yesterday.
Last day, yeah.
Yeah, like if not this day. So please, those among us who would love to hear about Pokemon would love to hear y'all pop off. So take the helm.
Well, I will say this: it's February 27th. I woke up this morning, and I rolled out of bed. I didn't even
Same.
roll. I was still in bed. I grabbed my phone. I looked at my phone, and I seen the notification. Nintendo, or not Nintendo, but the Pokemon Company is live streaming, and I'm like, holy! I might as well tune in. I got nothing else better to do. You know, I'm waking up,
Mhm.
and then they wasted like 15 minutes just on some like slideshow of like Pokemon throughout the years. I'm like,
Dang.
this is all cool.
As
It's
they
cool, but
Wasted
not telling me
time.
nothing.
Yo, 25 years? Nah, fuck that. Give me another game. How about that?
yeah, they
that's what
literally
that-
went through every Pokemon accessory ever made. They like
I
the
want to go
wire
back and
cable
wait.
for
I
the
want to go
GameCube.
back and watch it. I missed it. But
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
and then they talked about Pokemon Snap, which is it's a game. It's a game. I'll say that.
that's not what we're here for.
That's not what we're
Mhm.
here for. But then they hit us with the big haymaker.
Fire in the booth. Fire in the booth.
In the booth.
Gen
Yes.
4 remakes, though.
Yeah,
Mm.
I got the tweet from Wario64, who I still follow.
Mm.
He was the guy that helped me
Your
get my
PS
PS5.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But he basically tweets out every like major game like news headline or whatever, and I seen Diamond and Pearl remakes, and I'm like, oh shit! Like that didn't come through at all.
It was like 1 second of that.
Alright, well, so be it.
Yeah.
So
It's funny because Trevor sent it in our chat, and I was watching the live stream as he sent it, so I was like freaking out.
dang, they were on it. Yeah, it took me a second to watch it, but it's basically, well, I mean, it's great for these guys. It's very lucky for me. Like I said, this was the one I didn't freaking play, or the first one I didn't play, I guess.
Yeah, man, you get to jump in, nice crisp graphics. I'm not okay. So, Alex, how do you feel about them keeping the art
Changing it.
style and not changing it?
Yeah. It's definitely interesting. I feel like it's something that might have to grow on me for a little bit. It's kind of like, I mean, they kind of scrapped the whole what we're used to with these
Sword and Shield.
newer games. Yeah. At least the visual style. They kept that 3D feel, but they still made it like the two. They kind of made that same feel.
Yeah,
like
so
their
you can go
head-
diagonal now.
size of their body.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah.
because you couldn't go diagonal in the handhelds, but
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm interested to see. I think it'll grow on me.
Diagonal.
Yes, bro.
That's
Um,
some. Oh shit.
I'm
Yeah,
actually
bro.
I'm pleasantly surprised because I guess I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I don't like the open world feel of Pokemon. If I'm being honest with you,
Well, then you're gonna feel massively differently about the other Pokemon game we're gonna talk about, I guess.
Yes, sir.
That's true. Yeah.
Wow, why are you spoiling?
That's true.
I mean,
No, but I like the top down,
so be it.
like weirdly scaled Pokemon games where like you're half the size of a fucking building.
Yeah.
And it's like all weirdly played. And like you look like a bunch of like tiny people, and but you
Yeah.
have
It's 8-bit,
huge heads.
16-bit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah, especially if it's closer to the original and I never played it. You know, I'm down
It
for the
is,
Got a
original.
yeah.
basking
It's
nostalgic feel.
pretty faithful. Like they said it in the reveal. They're like, "Oh, this is a faithful remake." Like they're being legit. Like it's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a graphic like facelift. Honestly,
Word. Yeah, none of that let's go crap.
I didn't play Let's Go.
I actually,
It's not a real
I
remake.
feel like
so
Let's
that's
Go fell off so hard that I actually literally know nothing about it. Like
Yeah, it did
that's
fall off pretty hard. I forgot
how
about it.
hard it fell
Yeah.
off. Is I heard about it and then it was just like faded into non-existence. Is how I feel
That's
like
because they made it
existed.
like they made Pokemon Go into a
They made
Pokemon game.
yeah. It was the combat changes that just
Yeah,
kind of
wild.
Yeah.
fell a little
Oh,
flat.
yeah.
Fucking bizarre.
I hope
Dang.
that because I remember Diamond and Pearl being like somewhat challenging. Like those were back when like the games weren't piss easy. Like Sword and Shield was just. I didn't even finish Sword and Shield. I got to like the 8th gym and then I didn't finish it. It just bored the shit out of me. There was no challenge.
Dang.
Like you were massively overpowered the entire game, and like I wasn't even like training, like at all. I was just battling the people that were on the routes.
That was my main concern.
And you're like,
yeah.
yeah.
I beat Sword and Shield. I relatively enjoyed my time playing it, but like after I beat it, I didn't touch it ever again. Like I'm not messing around with like any DLCs that they had.
Nah.
Expansion pass for Pokemon. Are you serious?
Yeah, and the what do they call that area? Is it the wild area? Is that what it's called?
Uh-huh.
That just looks like shit on the Switch, man. The Switch is just I don't know what maybe because like they have games like Odyssey and shit where it's like pristine, but this is just like it looks like a demo and it runs at 20 FPS.
Oh, okay.
It's just ass.
Connect
So
to the
I'm kind of
internet
glad
is
that they're not doing that for Diamond.
Yeah.
Pearl.
Okay, I'm down with it. Yeah, because
my only complaint with this upcoming remakes is that they don't have platinum, but
yeah, you're gonna take right out of my mouth, yeah.
which is like the definitive version of that game. Like,
It
that
literally
demo-
is, and you have Giratina, and I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil, but
yeah.
It's on the cover.
no. I mean, like like there's another. There's
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
yeah. No, Platinum is the shit. So
that's a little weird.
that-
Yeah.
I wish
Which
that
one
they
should I
would,
go for, Pearl or Diamond?
It really doesn't matter, honestly. At
Okay.
the end of the day, I played Pearl.
Hmm.
I like Palkia more than Dialga.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. I think I always wanted that as a kid.
Is he purple?
Oh.
Huh?
Is it because he's purple?
No. At the time, my favorite color wasn't that. It was like black at the time. So,
Yeah, of
but-
course it was.
I don't know. It like that came out when I was in 5th grade.
Hmm.
So like everyone and their mother that I knew was going to get Diamond just because
Mhm.
like it sounded cooler. So
Yeah.
I wanted to be. I was that kid. I wanted to be different.
That was
I
I
think-
wanted. Yeah, that was me too. Except I didn't actually get it. But that was
You're in
my
for a
first
treat
kid.
though. It's
Okay.
a wonderful region and it's got like such a great cast of Pokemon to catch. So
Yeah,
I'm
down.
super excited. I'm more excited for you to play the goddamn game than I am to play the game myself.
Okay. We
Who's
hype.
your
This
starter,
is-
Trev?
This is dangerous, especially for me, because I'm gonna come back to the podcast with like fucking hell. What was 5th grade? Like 12 years ago. Like that many years of like Pokemon hype brought to the podcast,
Oh,
and that's
no,
all I'm
yeah.
gonna want to fucking talk about. And y'all are like, listen, we experienced this 8 years ago. Fuck off, Cameron. Like,
Yeah.
like that's almost what's gonna happen if everything goes my way. Essentially, it's like I'd love to go back and do all those because that's been explained in previous podcasts. But I had minimal experience with Pokemon. I had yellow on the color, and that was like max. And I played the card game for a little bit. I think it was like Pokemon Arena or Pokemon Stadium, where you would like
Stadium.
battle and get to like the 100th level or whatever. I played that on like friends' consoles and stuff, but like I had basically minimal involvement in like actual like grinding Pokemon.
Yeah.
I used to go to tournaments for the TCG game.
It's something I fucking that's cool as fuck. It's something I'd die for, honestly, because it's something I loved when I was involved with, but then just never end up involved with. So it's like that's what I'm saying is I'm gonna recover like 12 years of Pokemon culture and like berate you guys with it, and you guys are like, okay, listen, Cameron, you're literally 12 years behind. I've had these conversations when I was in 7th grade. Like is basically what I'm hoping for almost. So we'll see.
Yeah. We won't be all gatekeepy. We'll be like, bro, that's crazy.
No.
You can get a bike. Yeah.
There's no value in
yeah, that bike is hype.
There's no value in gatekeeping.
Yes,
yeah, no,
agreed.
but regardless, that's where I stand. Is one who feels he missed out, but is eager to get back into it for sure.
We got you. Yeah, it'll be a high time.
My mom used to drive me to Orlando back when we lived in the rural area, and she used to drive me on the weekends to, I think it was Sci-Fi City, which is I don't know if they're still open or not, but it's like a comic book store that they also held tournaments. And I got to play like my 11-year-old self.
That's
with
sick.
My card sleeves and a little coin that you would
flip
for the
dude.
I still have I got rid of all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards and all my Pokemon cards except for the holographics. So I just have like a Ziploc bag full of like 200 holographic cards, and that's it.
I was about to say I got like a binder full of like Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh still back there. They're probably not valuable, but yeah, that was crazy. I just collected them, and I don't think we played by the actual rules. We would just like throw them down and be like,
"Wow,
I'm gonna attack you."
No way.
That's kind of bad.
Smack the shit out of you for that one.
I
know you would. Yeah.
I want to say I played Yu-Gi-Oh like that, where like the summer camp I was at like ended up with their own Yu-Gi-Oh rules, but it was everything was standardized, so it was like might as well be the normal rules. Go ahead, Joe.
I had a Duel Disk.
I did too, man. I did too.
Them shits would bend the shit out of your card when you put them in there. That was so dumb.
They wouldn't really
they were not
work.
practical.
Like people would be like, "Oh yeah, want to duel, bro?" And they would just sit at the table or like on the freaking basketball court, and I'd be standing up with a Duel Disk, like I'm going to duel you, and put the deck in the freaking thing, like on freaking Seto Kaiba.
But you felt like such a baller when you went like that. Oh
that
my god,
that was the best part, and that looks so good in the show. Yeah, you had to have.
No, because like they go like this, and they just slam the card on it, and it's like and it summons immediately. But then you just have to go like.
Throw back to when none of us had any conceptualization of what anime was, and that was just Saturday morning cartoons. Like Yu-Gi-Oh was just on, Dragon Ball Z was just on, like Pokemon was just on. Like all this shit was just part of our culture without us realizing like any sort of widespread effects or where it was coming from or who give a fuck. Like we were 7, we were 8. Like who gives a fucking shit? Like I'm watching these dudes like duel to the death on my TV on Saturday morning, and I'm gonna go do the same goddamn thing at my summer camp in the morning. Like it was exactly how it was. I don't think I ever did any of that like during the school year, but I went to a couple of YMCA kind of things, whatever else, where like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon was like the shit. It was currency almost. It was like cigarettes in prison. It was like. Just like all this stuff, like it was taken as seriously as anything, which was so much fun as a kid.
Yeah, it was wild.
I think all these things like really helped, like you said, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Dragon Ball. These things really brought that whole side of that culture to like the Western side.
Absolutely, trading card games,
yeah. And
the anime, everybody knows it. They don't even think of it as anime, but
all of my disposable income as a kid went to getting those $20 tins where you could get the EX card and then you would get the booster packs inside. Dude, I lived for those cards. Like it was such a waste of money. But it was such a waste of money, but I would never trade those memories.
I know. I'll get them for like Christmas and my birthday. Like
the
kids love them. They just can buy so many of them. Yeah, it's gonna get like created just this huge freaking market. It's crazy to think of.
Yep.
And I guess kids now are just
they just want the iPad.
Yeah, we're gonna be like boomers, but hey, man, just want that iPad.
I don't know how. I don't know about you
because we're on the cusp of that
Yeah.
Like we weren't exactly there. We were like in that emerging space. Like,
like I was 12 when I got my phone, but like there were no smartphones. Like
Yeah.
I think the iPhone came out like what 2007, and that wasn't even like a widespread thing. Like it didn't disseminate until like 2011. That was like when it popped the fuck off.
Yeah, I had an iPod. Like
I had an iPod too. Yeah,
I had an iPod Nano. I remember like we're in a weird generation too. Yeah, I remember like I mean I was a little late, but still like up until junior year of high school, I had my little like sliding keyboard phone and my iPod Nano. And I remember a girl asking me like, "Do you have two phones?" And I was like, "No, I just got something to play music and a phone."
Yeah, no, I did. I literally did the same shit. I had an iPod Touch. I had an iPod Touch until like 2018 for my music.
That was nutty. Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
I remember the first phone I had was like a Motorola flip phone, and the only thing I used it for was I would be on the bus coming home from school, and I would call my dad to tell him I'm coming home, like from school, so he knows I'm on the bus. And that was my routine with my little flip phone.
Practical.
And then when I was in middle school, I was able to actually have the iPod, and I felt like such a baller. Like I took all the music from our computer and downloaded it onto the iPod, and it was like 50 Cent on there, and I was just like feeling like a baller on the bus by myself listening to 50 Cent. Like, here we go. We go on to school.
Alex.
Yeah.
Alex, you're 20, right?
Yeah.
And Trevor, you're 24.
Yeah.
And that's the upper and lower limit of our podcast, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We live on such a specific like cusp of the generation of like technically I mean, like you could argue if you tried real hard that Trevor is millennial, but like why? So that being said,
I think 97 is the cutoff.
Yeah, we're technically it's like 96, 97 about that. So it's like technically we're all
I'm doing it 96, 97. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Back to back. Like the cover of Lethal Weapon. We're basically all Gen Z, but I explained this I have a weekly Sunday Zoom with the fam for COVID purposes, and so I talked about this with them recently. Is like I don't feel like I belong to Gen Z or to the millennials because we're like within our 4-year span in the podcast, especially maybe minus a year on Alex's side, but I think capped at Trevor's year maybe. Is we have a very specific experience of like seeing VHSs and having a VHS player in the house and like knowing that if you wanted to tape something you had to put it on the VHS and like all this shit, and then like that evolving into the DVR and all this stuff. And so we have like I think us four and everyone surrounding us in age or everyone who's the same age as us has this experience where we understand what it was like to be then, like the 90s, 80s, like as you were working to cell phones that were the size of like cinder blocks and like all this shit, and then it worked into like the car phone, which is in your car but it's nowhere else, and then a cell phone. And so like this evolution that we grew up with, where we remember dial up but we're like perfectly literate in every single form of email. Like it's such an outrageous experience to be on the median of like this massive jump in technology to me, from like basically non-internet to everything's the internet is our exact line. And to live on that line has been wild to me, and to like sort of trying to explain that to people of like, I know what a fucking address book is. I know the idea of like flipping through literal paper pages to try to find someone's phone number or address to send them a Christmas card or or to call them. Like I know what that is, but I also know that I have no idea what Trevor's number is, and if you like held a gun to my head and said what is it, then I could not fucking tell you because it's in my phone. It's always been in my phone. Like we live on that exact line to such a high degree that it's fully nuts to me.
Yeah.
I know Rocio's phone number. That's about it, and my mom's.
Yeah, I know like a couple family members, but
you should definitely keep a couple like floating in your memory just in case, because you never know.
Yeah, emergencies.
I know.
I think what we need to do here, we're our own generation. Screw with Gen Z. Screw with Millennial. We gotta form our own term. What is it?
Form it. I'm not doing that.
So with Generation Unboxing Life, that's our generation.
Gen Unboxing Life.
Yeah, I feel like
GUL, Gull. We're the Gull.
yeah, it's
We're not don't adhere to that because that's kind of a trash acronym. But we'll figure out a better one later down the line.
Yeah, there's weird terms for like the in between stuff, like people like Millennial Z, like Millennial spelled with a Z, but it's funny because I always felt like until pretty recently I was like I would argue that I was a millennial and I would say I feel like a millennial and I feel like I'm put in that group, but then more recently, like the past few years, I feel like more of a Zoomer because like have you guys seen those YouTube videos that are like Zoomer humor, like compilations?
Maybe.
Okay,
not compilations, but I'm sure. I want to say I'm sure I've seen parts of them that would have been contributed to. So go ahead.
Yeah, I would be interested to see what you guys take on them because it's not like everyone from our generation is gonna like them, but they're just this compilation of chaotic memes that somehow make sense together, and it'll be like white people will be like bruh, and then like some explosion will happen, but like I swear to my mind it makes sense, and like that's like all the comments are like, why is this my sense of humor? And it's like
our senses of humor, like at least like the younger you are nowadays, the more warped your sense of humor is going to be, just because the internet
it's definitely been
so weird.
It's definitely been specified by the utter inundation that the internet provides, of where like I fully believe, and it's basically been proven, but like I fully believe that we've consumed you and I and all four of us and anyone listening to this consumes more content on a daily basis. Like in the 24 hours from when you're listening to this to when the 24 hours ends, you'll have consumed more content than your ancestors from like 0 BC to negative 2 million, basically. Like they everyone before us, besides the last like 15,000 years, even like not even that, just consumed like everything in their immediate area and nothing else. And now we have the privilege but also curse, and it really depends on how you enable yourself and absorb the content to absorb anything from anywhere whenever you choose. And it is insane because it's a dilemma that a lot of people are dealing with, of like, how does this affect us as a social human? Like, this has only been going on for the last 30 years. Like, we've been studying humanity for the last several thousand. This has only been going on for the last 30. How does the internet affect how we interact with each other as human beings? And it's deeply interesting to me, and I love every single second of it. So, let me observe.
Well, I'll tell you what,
kings.
The internet is making kids' attention span weak.
My attention span is getting weaker by the day, honestly. Like with YouTube, like if it's not 40 seconds or smaller, I'm not watching it unless I like know the YouTuber. Like my recommendation feed is Trididash. It is so trash. It's nothing but garbage humor.
It's funny, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it is definitely shortened attention spans across the board, but then there's if you get into a certain subset of videos or whatever, like I watch certain videos that are like hours long and I can still tune into those, but it's almost like lengthened some of my attention span, but then shortened a lot of it, because I think we have similar recommended feeds that's like 40 seconds, like you said, and it's just like, or I'm starting to get recommended stuff that's like videos that people share on Stan Twitter of just like someone saying something ridiculous, and it's literally just a video you reply to someone with, because it's like 5 seconds long, and I'm getting recommended those now, like the shortest freaking videos possible. So
I see what you mean, like by lengthening it though too, because like I mean I'll still listen to Joe Budden podcast, and they upload 6 hours a week. And
I'm watching.
We're watching anime, like that requires
you have a good attention span.
That is true. If you listen to Unboxing Life, I watched this video series of this guy reviewing each of the Witcher games, and they're each like 4 or 5 hours long for each game, and part 3 isn't even out yet because it take like months to make. It's weird. It unlocks some weird part of my brain that will just sit there and freaking love it. Like if this dude talks about something for 5 hours, if they do it well, I guess.
No, that's dope.
I want Trev to finish what he was saying, but I have something else. Unless you were done, Trevor.
I wanted to go back to the millennial thing. I do identify as a millennial.
Okay.
I guess we'll take the identity out of the equation. I feel like a millennial.
Yeah, that's what the.
I always like anytime you've seen those videos of people like making fun of millennials and they're lazy, they don't get jobs, they stay at home, they do nothing, they're slum or they're scum.
Stereotype garbage.
Yeah.
I always got like offended by it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I've always felt like a millennial, and I never identified as a Zoomer per se.
I definitely feel like an older Zoomer, but I also see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I
never put too much thought into it, but I don't really feel like anything. Like I don't know. I think it's weird to me, like millennial, because what is the years for millennial?
It's something like
millennial ends in like
85
90s. I think it ends in 96 or 97. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. So
millennial starts in 93.
I know, because my brother was born in 95, and it ends like with him or barely after him, basically, depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
Millennials were born 1981 to 1996, so.
Oh, wow.
So there you go.
Okay. Like right there.
Yeah.
So Alex is solidly
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
81. Yeah. Alex is solidly a Zoomer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah, it's also like, of course, yeah.
I don't really feel like anything because like my brother is like 4 years younger than me, but I feel like our experiences through life, through school, is already so different from each other. Like there's things I cannot relate to him with at all because I think it's so stupid and it's his problems. But he's only 4 years younger than me, and it still feels so disconnected in that sense. So like, work's changing so fast that for me to identify myself as anything is kind of like weird to me.
Man.
I don't know.
I was doing really quick math real quick because like I didn't know if you were born before or after 9/11, so I had to do some quick math.
Oh my god!
But you were definitely born before that. So.
Yes, yeah.
Thank God.
I was in the state when it happened.
It doesn't matter.
I was one.
I remember that. Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter. I think we had the talk where it was like too young to remember, kind of a thing. Where I talked about.
It's just like it's wild to think that there are human beings that are alive that weren't alive when that happened.
They're adults.
I don't know when we talked about this. Yeah, I mean definitely adults. Like obviously my mom and dad and all of our mom and dads, went through.
That's not what he was saying. That's not what he was saying.
I was saying there's adults who were born after 9/11 now, like college students and stuff, which is the crazy part.
Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I got you. Okay. Anyway, so what I was saying is irrelevant. But yeah, I mean, what I was saying,
irrelevant,
which is I mean, not entirely irrelevant, is like the idea of they, experienced air travel pre 9/11, had 9/11 happen, and then experienced air travel post 9/11, which is an obvious. If you ask anyone who was in that generation, that's an obvious change. Of massive security. You used to there's a there's a bit of the podcast I'll reference over and over again, which is the last podcast left there, where they talked about pre 9/11 security, and they were like, you go through 9/11, you go through 9/11, you go through airport security in 1995, and they're like, oh hey, nice gun. Like that's like the entirety of like airport security is like, hey, good gun. Yeah,
which is kind of crazy to think about.
It's super crazy. It's super insane.
It takes something like that to happen for stuff to like.
Yeah. So like that concept of being written in blood, I didn't know what that phrase meant until Rocio started talking about like weird regulations when it comes to like fire hazards and shit. Yeah. And like all the rules that you could think of, like in terms of like our security, were mostly written in blood. Like
I've never heard it said that way. That's cool.
It's a cool phrase. Like obviously it's not cool. Like tragedies happen.
Meaningful phrase. Meaningful.
To think about that.
Impactful phrase.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it's a shame that we're that way as humans so much that we just wait for something to happen and then if it's big enough or whatever, we fix the problem, I guess. I mean, obviously you can't predict everything, but it's, something we do.
Proactive, not reactive. It's hard.
Yeah, proactivity is good. Sometimes we are.
You can't know the future, but then you see all these obscure rules, like you can't have a 4-inch pencil, like when you're sitting at the bar.
You know
Because
why?
John Wick killed someone, he killed 3 people with a pencil.
The John
Do
Wick.
you know why the length of knife regulation is how it is on TSA, but internationally?
For insecure men, I guess.
For no. Hello. Yes, maybe, probably yes, but also it's actually a reason. You're allowed to bring, I believe it's a 3.5-inch knife, on planes now, according to TSA, and that's because that is just below the minimum of what it requires to reach your heart through your chest.
I was thinking.
Is because that is just less than the fatal wound of one impact.
Couldn't they
It's
just
not less
slit
to
your
cut through
throat?
your
3.5
jugular.
inches.
Yeah,
I know, they could slit your
They
throat.
definitely could do fucking that. I'm definitely not defending the systems. I'm telling you why it is the way it is. I'm not offering any other information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is because that is the minimum before you get to, organ wounding damage. So that's it definitely widens your eyes to realize the circumstances of the regulations we live under.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. That's facts. But I don't know. Generations, man.
Generations, man.
Generations,
we're all whatever you want to be.
Yeah,
Whatever you want to be. At the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter.
I know. Yeah, I never identified much with my generation when I was younger either.
Absolutely
I
not.
do in certain aspects. It's not like the biggest determining factor of who you are or anything. Like I guess when I got more antagonism towards boomers, I was like, oh yeah, I want to identify with the younger freaking people so I can say frick you. But I don't know.
Gotta understand both sides.
What's one of the most I'm struggling to find a word for the most, but it's like impactful, I guess, is maybe the best word of like, what do you remember the most of in terms of transition in technology of like of a jump? Like, so for me it was like, like I mean, not for me, this is maybe not it, maybe not my best representation, my best example, but like what comes to mind immediately was like the idea that I finally got a cell phone, right? And it was the Motorola Razr, and it was just this flip phone, and it was like I would only get handed it on my way out the door to like walk the dog, or like if I was somehow going anywhere. I was like 10 years old, something like that. And it was like, all of 2 numbers. Mom's number and 911. And it's like you'll call one of those 2 if you need to use the phone. And so that was like, I got handed a cell phone walking out the door, and it was like, this is literally only if you're about to die do you pull this out of your pocket. In hindsight, such a weird phenomenon to me. So I mean, absolutely nothing like that, but anything in terms of like any large jump in technology, like VCR to DVR, anything in terms of like recording pictures, anything like that, anything that you guys remember, I'd be interested to hear.
I used to play with the disposable cameras, like whenever I went on field trips.
Disposable cameras with it, fucking hell, that's crazy too.
I had like you could take like maybe 24 pictures with the roll of film that they gave you, and then you had to bring it to Walgreens or CVS to get them developed, and it would take a day or 2 or whatever however long.
Absolutely.
You shake them out.
And now, like, the film cameras are coming back because film still has a certain, which is funny.
Just like vinyl.
Yeah, because
those mediums are.
I remember a time where I was wanting a digital camera for like years, and I got like a decent one eventually, but when they were a little cheaper, and like it's funny because that is like nothing now, like 1 megapixel, and then but the film cameras are still like holding up. That's like even when you watch movies and like TV shows, like from a certain period, like late 90s, early 2000s, like everything just looked worse because they were transitioning to digital instead of film, and it was like, dang, I always wondered why that was as a kid, but film still looks great.
Makes too
CD
much sense now.
players. CD players too.
CD players.
Music. Talk
Um,
about music. Give me some of that.
I used to I had a CD player and all I played on it was Linkin Park and the Spider-Man 2 soundtrack.
Yeah. Spider-Man 2. That's
I had the
classic.
fucking disc from the CD.
Spider-Man 2 came
Damn.
out in what, like 05?
2004.
04.
Wow.
There you go.
Can't get more 2000s than that. That's
Yeah,
nutty.
the first one came out in 02.
Mhm.
Third was in 07. But yeah, like I think there
Yeah.
was a Nickelback song on there, like about like being a hero or some shit like that. That shit was hard, man.
Nice. Okay.
When I was
then
super young, my
you get
CD
your-
player.
Huh?
Okay, so when I was super young, my CD player, the only thing that I guess that I had that was clean was Queen. So it was just a Queen CD. I don't even remember the name of the album.
Nice.
Queen.
like
it.
it.
was Queen. So I was rocking out to Queen, and I'm like, this is dope.
That's
Queen
dope.
is the
Dude.
shit, man.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, I wouldn't mind to do one of their albums for
Okay.
the music box. But
That'd be
Sure, yeah.
dope.
That's another,
Cool.
We're
another
Queen.
conversation.
we're sitting on about a month and a half worth of music box. Spoiler alert. Since
Yes.
that's
What
What are you talking about? I don't
episode.
know.
I have
Yeah,
no
I
idea.
don't know what
you're talking
Honestly,
about.
I have no idea what I'm talking about. Honestly.
Who's White Buffalo?
Mhm.
No, I've
It's
never heard
having
of
a
him.
premonition.
Never
here.
heard of him.
Yeah.
The only person that's gonna catch that is Caitlin.
yeah. No.
But,
she'll get it,
Shout out to Caitlin.
But David, I'm thinking
Absolutely.
about Metallica next. Still, I don't know about you.
okay. We could look into that.
We'll
Unexpected
see.
coming from you,
What
but
did you
yeah.
say?
Metallica next, but we'll see.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if that happens in the next episode, you'll see that it's a full and original Alex idea.
That is
So,
true.
If anything is to be attributed to him, it is that. So there you go.
That is very true.
Yep.
But I remember
I
my
will
first
say-
phone. I need to say this real quick. My first phone had
Yeah,
a
Go for it.
joystick on
Take your
it.
time.
My first phone had a
joystick.
joystick, and you would type.
Joystick?
You would like move the freaking
Oh, hold
everything
up.
with a joystick, and then click the joystick in.
You gotta. What do you mean joystick? Like how far did so I'm thinking joystick like Xbox or PS5 whatever controller.
It was
Like
like,
and it sticks out like a mile, right? Like how much? Like
no,
so
yeah.
there's like the old ass Logitech or whatever computers that had just like that red dot in the middle of the keyboard that you could like move around.
No,
Like
it wasn't a
to the- to the-
trackball.
to
It
the-
was you
yeah,
had
to the
a
degree. So between trackball and like current Xbox One, what are we looking at?
you had. I need to look at the model of this phone so I can show you. It had this weird like woven metal back thing, but you had this thing, and it was right. It was like half an inch above the phone. You would just move it around to like click and like type. And
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, that's
I think
crazy.
I know exactly what you're
Bro,
talking about. Yeah.
that
Yeah,
I
it
had-
was so
yeah.
weird.
that
It was
that
such a weird
transition
design.
that transition period of trying to optimize that technology for like all of like 6 or 7 years, however long
BlackBerry
it was.
having the
Like
Yeah,
my
dad,
between when
Little-
between
little
BlackBerry was it was like when BlackBerry had the absolute epitome of like cell phone technology to when iPhone came on the scene. To like then they were competing for technology, and then iPhone obviously like took all the way off.
Yeah,
But BlackBerry was still like doing like random ass innovations, and they and then whatever their competitors that were similar to them were also adapting those things. I don't know what model phone you said you had, David.
yeah, I can't remember the name. I was trying to
And
think of it.
Yeah, but it was I remember having
wild.
my the phone I got lent out when I went on dog walks and stuff, and it was like, call me literally if you're only getting murdered. Was
Mhm.
the Motorola Razr, which was this silver
Yeah.
flip phone that literally went like that.
It's a classic one.
on
A
phone,
lot of
yeah,
people had that
yeah.
one. Man.
Yeah,
I had
that's
that one.
definitely classic.
Yeah,
And then
it
I eventually finally got my own phone in like 7th grade or something like that. I forget the name of it. It was Samsung something, but it was one of those phones that it had a touch screen in the front, but then you slid it out and it was full keyboard.
Yes, that's what I had.
Yeah.
It had a full keyboard once you slid the top off. And then I had I think a Samsung Sunshine,
Okay.
which was full touch screen. The bottom was basically useless. It was just a back and forward button, and a center button, and the touchscreen was generally useless. And then beyond that, I think I finally went to an iPhone. But it was like that transition period is basically the point I'm trying to make is like that transition period was such chaos in like the phone market of like
It was.
who's got the best technology, no one does, we all do, like who gives a fuck, and it was just buy whatever for like a good 6 years, and I almost feel like that circumstance will never happen again. I feel like it'll always be not monopoly from now on out, or like a meaningful challenger.
Nope.
Like I never feel
not how technology works though.
I don't feel like it'll ever be a completely like coin toss up. It could land on any of like 5 sides, like coins don't but dice do.
On 5 sides, what kind of dice you throwing?
Something spicy. So anyway,
that ain't dice.
I feel like we're so late stage capitalism, it'll never be like it was ever again. But I would love to be proven wrong because that'd be interesting as fuck.
I mean, with phones, like
mean it's gonna be long.
Yeah, I mean, with phones, they'll come up with something probably, but it is gonna be like
there's gonna be another wave of
probably
That'd be cool.
ridiculous technology that are gonna change your
definitely.
life.
Yeah, it'll at least happen in different markets. So it
But
was a wild time.
I will say the first email that I ever had and I used for years was AOL.
Mm.
I never had AOL. I always
had
had
Roadrunner.
I did for a little bit, for a tiny bit. I had AOL. Did you guys ever use? All right, go ahead, Alex.
Nothing. No. That was it.
That was it.
Do
you guys ever use
You didn't want to do a deep dive on AOL?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you guys ever use AIM? AOL instant messaging?
That's something I didn't use.
No, because my account was a child, like a safe account. And it's like the kids AOL stuff. Like.
That was.
I didn't use AIM, but I did use Club Penguin.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That might as well be AIM, honestly.
Yeah.
That was my first internet. That was my first true internet social interaction was with people I knew anyway. I mean, I had basically nothing with people I didn't know, like Trevor, like how I met Trevor before then. But, AIM was basically the birthplace of communication on the internet as far as I was concerned.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely remember talking about generational capacity and all that bullshit. Like, I remember having to get off. Like, my mom would tell me, "Don't pick up the phone. No matter what you do, don't pick up the phone," because she was receiving a fax. Like, she was trying to receive a fax at the house, and our fax and phone number were the same, which was very commonplace for the time. And so she was like, "Don't pick up the phone if you hear the call, because I'm trying to receive a fax." Was like,
I remember that too. Yeah.
Which is like
I wonder.
Yeah, that's the home phones. We don't have
exactly.
Right,
The landlines.
yeah.
My
We
friend
only just got rid of our landline.
My friend in school used to have like a phone or a home phone, and I'd never had a home phone. I'd never had a fax machine.
Dang.
So like it was like weird technology for me, like for them to have a phone that sits out there and like just rings all day because people just call the house.
Yeah.
And then you have your cell phone as well, like.
Yeah, the home phones were mad annoying. I'm kind of glad we got you just get if you got spam calls on those, it'd just be the whole house like ringing like bruh.
And it was commonplace to just like listen to your voicemail like out in the middle of nowhere. Like you
Yeah.
got your kids in the living room, you got your husband right there, and you just like
Yeah.
You have 7 missed voicemails.
It's a little crazy, honestly. Yeah.
Phones connected, you could pick it up and hear just listen.
Yeah, I would do that sometimes. Like, what's my dad talking about?
That has definitely happened where you have like 3 landlines in the house and they're all connected to the same bullshit. So if someone's
that sounds like a George Lopez.
If someone's it's literally that's probably a George Lopez skit. Honestly, it probably happened multiple times on that show. Where it's like, someone's on the phone, like Carmen was on the phone and she's talking to her boyfriend and George picks up the phone and he's listening on the conversation, easy as peasy. Like it's just like it was that easy. Easy as peasy. Yes, I know.
Easy.
Kill me.
Classic George George.
I mean I'm very sure that's happened on the show before, honestly, where it was like, I
think everyone knew about it back
It's all the same number, so if you just pick up the phone, you're just actively
I wonder if like people younger than us don't get the like straight fax, like all fax no printer or whatever, like when we say that, because like I feel like we might be some of the last people who get that.
We
Like,
might. We might.
It's kind of weird to think of. We're like, I
Fax?
still feel like
People still have fax machines.
Fax
Like,
machines definitely
do.
still exists, but the most commonplace thing was to fax someone something, as opposed to right now, the most commonplace thing is to email someone something and then let them print it themselves. Like
Yeah,
that's
for sure. If
that's
they
by
even
far like 99% the most common thing to
if
do.
they
Like,
even need to print it, I mean,
like-
you can share a document and they can have it on their phone.
yeah,
and that's it.
exactly.
Like,
Like today I went and I have blood work getting done and whatever, so I had to have the place I got blood work done at fax it to the hospital. But that's just because their systems are like,
Well, yeah,
you know,
that's the
they're
system, yeah.
corporate systems, so, you know,
yeah,
that's how they still do it. But from person to person, from individual to individual, like that's basically never something that happens anymore.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
nobody has fax machines personally anymore.
yeah. My dad's work still does it, and he even thinks it's archaic, and he's in his 60s, and he's like, bro, they're still using fax. Like, come on now, like, just
that's
we
funny as
have
fuck.
Well, it's
that is
useful
fax.
for
Yeah.
like doctors' offices and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Certain things you need it, but
Yeah.
it's weird. Eventually, it'll be phased out, but it's almost there now. Yeah,
Probably within 10 years, yeah.
yeah.
Probably the last cusp of years of having actual decent TV shows on TV.
What the heck?
I don't know about
you
that.
still have cable?
No, but like when you watched TV in the day, like the shows were actually good.
Yeah, I think we're
I feel like
definitely in
There's
a
still
Network
plenty of good shit
nowadays-
on there. You got
Cartoon Network tries to make
HGTV.
shows
You got
that terrify kids.
Dang.
for what
Like,
kids?
that shit, Uncle Grandpa, like that shit is scary. They got mad stuff that's scary nowadays. That's like
Grandpa.
I have no idea what the cartoon shit is nowadays. Like
it's
I stopped
different.
watching cartoons when like Chowder and Adventure Time came out.
Yeah.
I fucking hated those shows.
I mean, my most Chowder and Adventure Time. You hated.
Adventure.
awful.
Time.
It's
Not
proof
my
that it's just like your
fucking
generation.
boomer.
Because those are some of the most beloved, and then nowadays they have like whatever's on now, and they love those. But we have some good ones. I feel like cable
I
just
grew up with Totally Spies. Like
that was trash
Yeah.
compared to Chowder and Adventure Time, bro. I watched that too. Though they had the freaking gadgets every episode.
fuck yeah, man!
Yeah,
Codename
dude.
Kids Next Door.
Okay, that was dope. Yeah.
K&D
Yeah,
was dope
No,
as
you already know.
fuck. If you sleep on K&D, you are
I still-
literally dead to me.
I still think I still think Teen Titans and Ed, and Eddie are the goats.
Teen Titans was
that's
amazing.
That's
yeah.
what I talk about the most between R and new gen cartoons is the fact that we had Teen Titans as it was.
Yeah.
And then the current Teen Titans is like a bastardization, is like a weak word for like what Teen Titans has become. Like Teen
Like a
Titans,
comedy. Yeah.
Teen Titans Go, which I've literally like, to fight my bias, watch a couple episodes of when they were just like fart jokes and shit. And where like in reality, Teen Titans, as we realized, it was like a very serious. The characters had their all their own personalities. The villains were serious. Like the conflicts were serious. Like the problems were serious. And then I look at Teen Titans Go for 5 seconds and they're making fart jokes. It's like, okay, let's maybe relax.
It's crazy.
But it's
Go. They're all the same voice actors,
Oh really?
and I'm
Are
just
From
like,
the original series.
yes.
Mm,
That's
wow.
interesting. The
I'm
art
like,
style
why?
looks really cheesy too,
deeply cheesy, man.
like bubblegum pop in cartoon form.
You know
Yeah.
Definitely.
those actors are cringing their head off every time. Like they have to
Didn't
be.
they have a self-aware
They have to be.
like little skit where they said that the
Yes.
show was like hot dog shit for like 2 minutes straight, and they
Yes.
just like made fun of themselves?
Yes.
Mm. Okay. I mean,
There's.
No,
I don't know if
yeah.
that ever appeared in a cable TV episode, but I've definitely seen a YouTube clip where it was like,
Do you?
"Oh, this was the old us," and they look at it and they're like, "This is us now" or whatever. Like that was a whole fucking thing that I recall seeing, whether it was fan made or official or YouTube or broadcast or whatever. That exists. For
Yeah.
sure. But anyway, I mean, it's. I don't want to just generally, because I detest to my most solemn degree, vast generalizations of anything, especially generations and forms of entertainment, which is
Titans Go is trash.
Fast forward, I might feel differently
Teen
about
Titans Go is
Country
trash.
in about a week. But anyway,
Okay.
yeah, man. I mean, it's just the fact that like it feels distasteful to me what they do to a lot of these shows, and I'm only like 5 years removed, so it feels like the writers are trying to appeal to a generation they know nothing about a lot of the time.
Yeah, I
which is
think
tough. And I feel like that'll definitely go away within the next like even 2 or 3 years, because of the new generation cycling into those writer positions and to understanding like, okay, like yes, this is what the internet has done to meme culture and all this bullshit, and this is how you should write it, and then that'll get corrected like fairly easily. Like I think cartoons will go back to as well as they were, if not better, very, very soon.
I don't know.
I don't agree with that. I think the future of cartoons is anime. If I'm being completely
that might
honest
be
with
the case. It might be like the market for an American like action show goes away. I mean, Teen Titans was even done in like an anime style.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So I think
we're getting those high level shows now. Like, and they're like you can watch these shows have great themes and not have it be just recycled dog shit that just
so
makes the brain mushy.
The American market will have to keep up for sure, and you know, I feel like they'll do some stuff, but
there was a certain point where DBZ wasn't, you know, in the US, and then came over.
Yeah, I mean,
took over.
I think probably the original properties nowadays are the ones that people like. People like Steven Universe and like certain like stuff that I never even caught on to. That's not like remakes of like better stuff. So that stuff's probably there, but. Okay.
Well, if you don't fucking put your hand out right now,
I put my hand up when I'm trying to have you guys transition into me when you guys are done, because I don't want to cut you guys off because you guys are making good points. I think we're agreeing in the fact that once this generation grows up and has their own writers and everything, like yes, anime is what we're currently experiencing as like perfect our generation entertainment. And I think America as a, entertainment mecca, as it were, will rise to that challenge and replicate that to its own degree of having its own animation type of style as we've had for the last however many decades, and continue to have entertainment and compete. And I mean that's the nature of entertainment. It's the nature of money making is to compete. And so that's what I think will continue to happen is the fact that anime in terms of Japan is ruling right now. But I think America will rise to the challenge and rise to compete and do their best, and I think that'll be best for everyone involved, especially the consumers, which is us. I think we are as consumers in for it in terms of the competition, very specifically between Japan and America, but I think other countries and other markets will adapt to that as well, and we'll be seeing European, other parts of Asia. Who knows what we'll be seeing? So I'm very, very excited for that to be a competitive market over a dominated one for sure.
Yeah,
I think anime number one. Everything else is dog water.
Dog water.
Right now, I don't disagree with you even a singular percent.
Get frick, brother. It's interesting too because there's anime from plenty generations that are still great and like
dog water.
Yeah, I mean it's in terms of popularization is what I say.
Holy shit!
Dang, get frick suckers.
You subverted my expectations. That was awesome.
I'm glad.
That's what you want.
That was the truth.
Dang, brothers.
Anime
all right. I think we
all that
Pokemon is dope.
Yeah. All that being said, I think we're very full circle. Let's talk about
for Pokemon.
Pokemans.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Pokemon Legends. I'm hyped for that.
Okay.
Right?
Is that the right?
Did I cut out?
Get cut?
Yeah.
No.
I'm absolutely cutting my own dick off because of my mic quality, but whatever. If you notice that, then you're a true fan. Yeah, man. I mean,
Okay.
I'm ready to head out whenever you guys are. But if you want to pop off about the free room for a couple minutes, and I'm perfectly with that.
Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Coming to your head tops
thoughts.
next year.
I don't even know what it's gonna be.
I'm cool on it, but I'd like to see what they do. Hopefully, the game will look better than Sword and Shield in the wild area, but probably not.
Yeah.
It's just not optimized for the system at all, which is
That's
weird because they've had that system for like 4 years now.
The trailer seemed to
Yeah.
be low frame rate, but I don't know.
It
By
like
sys-
just
by
the
system, you mean
textures look awful.
Switch, right?
The Switch, yes, the Switch. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Like you look at a game like Odyssey, like I said earlier, like it's just pristine. It looks so good, and then you look at something like Sword and Shield, and it's like, ew. Like the draw distance is like 15 meters. You can everything. There's so much pop in.
It's weird when that happens with such a big franchise.
Yeah. Well,
I guess I'm hopeful, but we'll see.
I'm not surprised because like the Pokemon community in like specifics, like they consume everything regarding Pokemon. Like it doesn't matter how dog shit it is, they will consume the shit out of it.
Yeah. Okay. It's like
You know how many copies Pokemon Pinball sold?
I don't want to know, man.
I don't know. I'm sure it's a lot.
I'm
Pokemon
sure it's a
Pinball
lot.
is dog water.
Dog water. Okay.
Alex giving us the
Quick reaction.
the surprise Pikachu face.
Giving us the thumbnail.
that, The thumbnail? Jesus fuck.
If we did the new
Alright.
Pokemon
Oh!
New Pokemon trailer reaction.
Trailer reaction. It was
That's
cool.
what we're-
Midnut.
Yeah, I'm gonna write "Oh frick me" in freaking big letters. And it's just us talking.
Me.
Yeah.
That'd be the
But,
if David was a YouTuber, that'd be the thumbnail of every video he put out.
That is true. That
"Oh,
is true.
frick
I
me."
would
David is
do
a
that.
YouTuber. Follow him on Dave Vision. Subscribe.
I am a YouTuber, Dave Vision. Yeah,
A YouTuber.
I say
Yeah, I
if
gotta
when the
I guess you technically are a YouTuber.
technically so.
You do make
I guess-
YouTube content. We all are YouTubers.
We all are
I guess.
YouTubers.
We are all a YouTuber. We're
That's
dope.
funny.
Dang,
I don't
man.
consider myself a YouTuber, which is funny, but
No, I don't
We
know
are.
if I ever will.
We're-
It'll be weird.
Nah, we're not. We're not. We
We're
don't
just
make content specific for the platform.
we're just amateurs. But
We just do what we
kinda do.
love.
just the
Anywho.
video. The video is very YouTube specific.
yeah, you know, we count ourselves amongst them.
We do make thumbnails for the YouTube videos, so I guess we are YouTubers.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, guys. Like and
Shout out to-
subscribe.
Like and subscribe to our new
Yeah.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, bro.
That is not new.
Freaking yes, dude. Hit everything.
New
Freaking
to
add
you.
us to your
Be back,
favorites.
subscribe.
Add us to your playlist and play us at night.
Don't
Keep
do
it
that.
looping. That's what Justin
Keep it
Bieber.
looping.
Yeah, yeah. Keep it
Yeah, that's what
looping.
Justin Bieber did for Yummy.
Shout out.
Oh! Fucking. Okay, but before we get off, well, you like sparked my brain. So I was on Genius earlier when I was looking up the lyrics of the album that we were talking about in
Yeah.
a few days, and
episode.
fucking,
Oh.
I saw. This isn't the reason why I pogged, but Justin or Bieber's fucking releasing an album next month.
Right,
But-
right.
Your boy Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak have teamed up
Oh,
for an album.
Hold
And
on
it's
now.
called Silk Sonic. Their band is called Silk Sonic, and they're
Oh,
coming out.
dang.
The first
Mm.
single comes out next Friday, I think.
Well,
Wow.
So that
okay.
sounds super juicy.
Esto es
And we're gonna
muy
be here.
interesante.
we're gonna
Yeah.
check that out for sure.
Definitely
I didn't.
sounds juicy.
I've been
not
fiending
expect
for
that.
some new Bruno. Pause.
It's gonna be crazy,
No
really.
pause.
No pause.
Fiend.
No freaking pause. We didn't play all day on that mother trucker.
True
Absolutely.
bars.
Okay. Yeah. So
Where you pause at? Whoa.
Take us out, David.
where you're pausing. All right, suckers. I guess I'll take us out. Thank you for listening. Whenever someone says that, I just stop in my tracks. But you know,
Yeah.
thank you for.
Deer in the headlights.
Yeah, I'm a deer in the headlights. I'm a
Mobby.
freaking.
You're a
My
buck.
nuts are under a buck. Yeah.
I think I might have a joke for that. You might have to stay tuned.
Yeah. So
Make sure
My
fans.
nuts are under a buck.
thank y'all for listening. You know how we do it. Like, subscribe, hit the freaking bell. Freaking give us money on Patreon. Give us money on OnlyFans. Give us money on freaking whatever you want. On Cash App.
us.
Yeah. So
Defense.
freaking
Venmo.
being real, everybody.
Send us Bitcoin.
Yeet sucker.
Honestly,
Bitcoin.
honestly, send us Bitcoin.
That's Bitcoin.
I'd be hot for that.
Mm-hmm. If the demand is high enough, we could get Trevor in his Umbreon outfit.
Yeah.
If I see one comment from a foreign account that is not us asking me to wear the Umbreon suit, I'll wear the Umbreon suit.
There you go.
That's our goal.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
That is the
If
goal.
we can get 50 likes on this YouTube video,
Yeah.
I'll go poggers.
That'd be amazing.
50 likes for Umbreon. That's it.
Yes. Our next video will start with Trevor going poggers. It would be so lit, bro. Fam.
Poggers, my dog water.
All right, Unboxing Life fam. Well, see ya. All right.
Jesus fucking Christ.
All right.
David has said goodbye like 7 times. Hit the bell as well.
You get notified every time I upload, every Tuesday and Friday.
Oh my God.
There you
Tuesday,
go.
Friday.
That's a fact.
I will say I'm feeling a lot of love today. I'm feeling love from my brethren, but I'm also sending out the love.
Ooh.
I'm sending out the love to. I'm sending the love to. I love you, Trevor. I love you, David.
Okay.
I love you, Cameron. I'm sending love.
Back at you. Yes,
Love you
sir.
too,
I'm
homie.
grabbing it.
Love to you.
Love you back. Yes, sir.
I love you. That's who I love. I think
Nice.
that's about it. That's it for me. I love you.
Nice.
My man Alex loves everyone. I will say, if you want to find us on your socials, if you're inclined to do so, then you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at UnboxingLifePod. You can find us on Reddit at r/UnboxingLifePodcast, very specifically.
Mm-mm.
If you want to see Trevor nude except for his Umbreon cosplay, definitely get this video to 50 likes. If you don't feel like you can get that by yourself, then definitely send it to your friends and have them like it too. Then we'll definitely Trevor is committed to it. He's said it online.
Yes,
So
he will
he'll
be
definitely
If you're online.
He'll definitely appear in nude on the next podcast episode, probably what is it, 43, I think.
No.
This is 43, right? So 45 or 46.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck.
Completely nude. Completely nude except for the Umbreon cosplay. So if we get this to 50 likes on YouTube, then that will happen. He promised it to you himself. So there you go. So for my exit on this episode, as it is Pokemon themes, we are feeling Japan themed. So I will say sayonara tomodachi.
Oh frick! Dude speaks Japanese.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
I'm sorry. This was fun. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right.
Shout out to my ears.
Shout out.
Alex be hating on my ass, and I hate it. I hate you. Yeah. You said, man, check those negative feelings at the door. How about that? This is drip. This is drip.
Bruh, I love the fit. I don't know what you're talking about.
Y'all rewind like 50 minutes before.
I'ma shower the hate with love, brother.
Good goddamn.
Yes,
And with that said, peace out, baby.